circling back to KSI, Logan Paul, in this fight. Look, I have some opinions about it. I do think you have a natural young audience that don't watch the sport, that will be watching the sport, and if you have names like Devin Haney and Billy Joe Saunders attached to it that are elite names, that can only be a net benefit for those specific boxers on the card. Whether or not it has a long-term positive effect and brings this new audience into the sport, I find that highly doubtful, to be quite honest. And, whether or not we have people in the chat or in the comment section that are Logan Paul or KSI fans that have been talking about how in 10, 20 years, this is going to be a force within the sport that's going to change everything. Because I have people in the comment section. Check out our last video about this topic. Look at the comments. Like, Verisky knows what I'm talking about. We've had one card per year right now at this pace. We had a card last year. We have a card this year. Is one card per year from these big major YouTubers enough to change the landscape of boxing, bring in this new audience? And even then, is one card a year even sustainable for these guys? Do they want to do that? I don't know, to be quite honest. These guys are probably multimillionaires without fighting. I don't see why they would be in any rush to have an actual pro career and bring in this audience. So, again, this long-term effect that people think this fight's going to have on audience growth for the sport, I don't see it. I don't know if there's any data to support that. We had one event last year. Was there any significant increase in a younger demographic watching the sport? Not really. We had the big Showtime reveal last year, right? There's nothing really within those numbers that reflected that. I just don't see, again, how this has long-term effect for the sport. Maybe long-term effect for some of the guys on the card, like a Devin Haney, for example, who's 21 years old and is a young guy, a millionaire, great boxer, flashy. He's going to, I think, communicate well with that audience. Billy Joe Saunders is a different story. But, again, it should be good for bringing a new audience in for this one night. Whether or not that changes long-term, whether or not these two gentlemen keep fighting in boxing is a completely different story. And it's impossible to say that this is going to have a drastic effect on the industry when we don't have a case study of it. We literally only have one other event of this nature, and now we have another a year later. Not enough to really collect data, in my opinion. But moving on, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of KSI Logan Paul. Do you guys care? It's a pro fight, no headgear, 10-ounce gloves. Do you care that pros like Devin Haney and Billy Joe Saunders are attached to it at all? Or do you just not care because you're hardcore boxing fans that predominantly listen to this show? An interesting note that the hardcore fans in this show have been saying in the comment section of that last video, no, don't put pro fighters on this card. Keep them separate, right? And the YouTuber fans, the people that like Logan Paul and KSI, they're saying the same thing, which I find fascinating that that's happening. I did not expect that to be the case, but both camps are saying, no, keep them separate. Maybe they should.